know who made it. You know who made it. You know who made it.
What is good, Gamble Factory family? We are back at your boy Z Rob and Coach T Posey, ready to talk some Thursday night football. Got a nice primetime game. Typical Thursday night game was probably going to be gross, ugly. It's a 10-point spread. On paper, these teams are complete mismatches, so the Giants have not looked good to start the season after giving up like 70 points or something like that to the Cowboys and Cardinals last week. They should have lost to the Cardinals. Cardinals probably honestly lost that themselves on purpose after being up 20 something points at half. Tyler, how you feeling?
Well, first of all, you said nice game. I think this is an absolute garbage of a game, and I'm sick of having these Thursday night contests that way. But I think that's pretty much the norm for Thursday nights. I am excited that it's football back, and I don't have to bet on baseball, even though I did. But it's still a terrible game, so whatever. Just got to push through it and find something of value. I think.
No, I faded baseball today, probably for the first time all season. So I'm definitely pumped about this football game. I think there's money to be won despite it being a 10-point spread and a Thursday night game. So we got some guys. We're pumped. We're pumped in chat about making some money. So let's go ahead and get straight to it. You got a prop that you're liking today? Got a couple?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Why not? Um, I guess I'll start with Debo. I kind of looked at a couple of different Debo props. What I think I'm settling on is receptions at 4.5.
Perfect.
Um, he's been pretty involved in the offense over the last couple of weeks. Covered it both of those weeks, and they didn't even need to throw. Um, I guess really the first week they didn't need to throw at all, and he still covered that. Last week they needed to throw a little bit in the first half, I guess, because it's a pretty close game with them and the Rams. But yeah, he's still at 4.5. I guess like minus 130 on the odds. I think he's gotten 9 targets here. So 7 targets being the game. They didn't need to throw it all. They were just ahead the entire game. So I think 4.5 is a pretty good line for him. He's covered it. So not again, it's not my favorite slate, but I do think he's plenty involved in the offense to cover this.
Yeah, no, I like this Debo reception prop too. I'm honestly kind of surprised it hasn't gotten bumped to 5. It's been at 4.5, I think, since it's open. And
Yeah.
the odds have slightly favored the over. No way you probably tonight, or if he plays, he's not going to play a ton. This should be a game that the 49ers win fairly easy. So Devo's definitely going to get some targets. I mean, Purdy still has like a 19 completion prop, so they have to go to somebody. And why not Debo? I mean, he's been getting the targets the first couple weeks. So what's up, CWM? Missed his boys. Yeah, we're back. My man Cooksey won 3K the other day. Hit for
Dang.
$1,800. That's huge.
and won 3K, and he hit that 3K entry for 1800.
That's huge. If Ayuk is ruled out, Kittle and Debo should be free green. I agree. I think Debo hits even if Ayuk plays, but if he plays, it's definitely gonna be limited. He won't have to be pushed to the limit. He only played like 50% of snaps in week 2. He got hurt week 2, so he's not gonna have to be forced into doing too much. Um, so yeah, I like the Debo prop. Staying on the 49ers side of the ball. How do you feel about Christian McCaffrey? I feel like he has to have a game. I've been kind of eyeing his rush yards all day. 100% of the snaps in week 2, which is absolutely crazy to me. So he's the definition of a bell cow back, apparently, for the 49ers. I doubt we see 100% of snaps today because we shouldn't need it. We should see some Elijah Mitchell. But that 80 rush yards against the Giants doesn't seem too bad. I mean, James Conner just ran for over 100 um, last week versus them, and C-Mac has crushed this line the first 2 weeks. So, perfect game script. What do you think about C-Mac today?
Yeah, I actually like C-Mac a lot as well. I played at 16 and a half rushing attempts earlier, but I feel like the yards probably are just the same type of prop. I think he might be a little bit safer because, like you said, I don't think he'll play 100% of the snaps this week, and it seems like the books are favoring Elijah Mitchell to get a little bit more work.
Yeah,
So it doesn't. I mean, the 16 and a half rushing attempts I still like, and I'll play it again probably here in a little bit since a baseball prop sold me earlier. But his rushing yards seem to be a little easier because he's always got that big play potential in him to get those yards up pretty quickly. And I think he's had a pretty long rush in each of the first couple of games, and the Giants haven't stopped anybody. So
I agree. It should be fairly easy for him. Looks like our guy JTH thinks C-Mac will get a snap reduction because of a short week. I definitely agree to that too. But should cover both easily. So looks like we're on the same page there. Might lean McCaffrey first half.
it's a good take too. Honestly, I don't mind that.
I haven't even looked at his first half props, but it
I think
would
it's
probably be
I think it's
safer
like
for sure.
41 and a half. Yeah, it's 41 and a half.
Yeah, definitely solid. I mean, he had 52 and an 88 last week versus the Rams, so that looks really good as well. He's got a first half touchdown prop. That's kind of crazy to see. He
Does
probably
he
hits
really?
it. Yeah,
I didn't realize that. I mean, I guess it's probably similar to the fantasy score, but that's hilarious.
yeah. No,
Yeah, I'm actually fine with the first half prop. Honestly,
would you rather go first half or
I mean,
full
I think
game?
that I'll let you decide since that was your prop, but I don't really mind it. It's a pretty good take, I think. Uh,
We'll see. We'll talk
yeah,
about it later before we submit the slip. So we'll see how we're feeling about it. I mean, that might lean first half. I didn't look at it till right now, but we'll see what chat kind of likes too.
yeah. It looks like Chad's kind of mixed a little bit, but I know a few of them said that first half as well. That that's what they are targeting themselves.
Does Debo have a first half line? I don't want to take too many first half props, but
That first half
yeah,
was scary.
30.5 receiving yards, 7.5 fantasy score. I don't know. He's hit this easily both the first 2 weeks, so looks like he can go there too. We usually don't play blowouts too often, but this is one game I'm definitely worried about with it being 10 points and the 49ers are a great team and the Giants seem to suck so far to start the year. Also, the Giants are without 2 offensive linemen versus the league's already best pass rush, so
Yeah, I mean that's just makes it so difficult.
which talking about that kind of leads me to a prop that I like. I don't know if we want to take it or not. I played it in a personal slip, but Nick Bosa over 0.75 sacks. Giants
Ooh,
without 2 offensive linemen. Nick Bosa hasn't gotten a sack yet this year. And he's a absolute beast. He's minus like 165 or something over zero point 0.5 sacks. So I don't know. I
I
was
mean,
I was liking it earlier.
oh wow, that's that'll be an interesting one to take on. I wonder if Chad likes that one. I have not looked at that one to be honest with you. So, guess that's up to you.
Yeah, we can talk about it later. We can see what chat thinks about it too
Yeah,
here in a little bit. What else are you liking?
man, I really have been looking into Daniel Jones, his rush yards. With no Saquon and no 2 offensive linemen, I feel like that he's going to have to drop back to pass quite a bit. And I'm not sure that he'll be able to sit there and pick the defense apart for a long period of time. So I feel like he's gonna have to take off a lot. And he's covered this quite a bit lately. He's covered it every game this season. He's had to run a lot already.
Yep.
So given 5, 6, 7 carries, depending on whatever the books give. I think books are at 6.5 or 7.5. I don't remember off the top of my head. But he's just really effective as a runner, deceptively effective. So giving him, that many carries and on an aggressive defense that will certainly, I would think, the Giants will be playing behind and is obviously struggling to run the ball or struggling to have offensive linemen that can block. I think, that extra push for him will have him covering his rushing line.
I definitely agree to that. I had that on my list as well. I think I've already played it a couple times this week, and I think I've seen several other people play it, so it seems kind of like it's a community prop, which makes me a little nervous, but I think it's a great prop nonetheless. How do you feel about the Giants receiving options today? I got two guys that I'm kind of interested in. I don't know if you had a prop on any Giants receiving options, but if they're playing from behind, somebody's got to catch some balls or at least attempt to catch some balls. How do you feel about that?
I played, I think, Darius Slayton on Underdog, or no, on Sleeper for 2.5 receptions.
Yeah.
On Prizepicks, I didn't really play anybody. I kind of lean a little bit towards Darius Slayton's receiving targets at 5.5, and then possibly his receiving yards at 34.5. But nothing that I'm really, really confident in. I think some receiver has to do something.
I agree.
I just don't know. I don't know which one it is. Slayton's probably my best bet, but
I had Slayton on my list as well, and I played him. I played his receiving yards. I mean, San Francisco, they have given it up to receivers to start the season. I mean, both teams have had to pass the ball a lot against them, so that could be in part of it. But Slayton, he's leading the team in targets through the first 2 weeks for wide receivers for the Giants. 34.5 seems kind of low. I mean, he's one of those guys that could hit this on just one, maybe two catches,
Yeah.
I'm also curious about Waller. They're going to have to run probably a bunch of two tight end sets tonight just to help with blocking. And, Waller, he played 90% of snaps last week. I was looking at his 6.5 reception targets, actually.
I seen that one. I kind of looked at that one as well.
Yeah, so he's at 4.5 receptions, so just would need a couple more targets. How accurate is Daniel Jones going to be able to be tonight? Being pressured, that's to be determined. But Waller has had 5 and 8 targets his first 2 weeks. His first week, he only played like 54% of the snaps. They got absolutely blown out. So didn't see as much time on the field, but still got 5 targets. I think it's a spot where he should easily see 7 targets, especially with the Giants having to run a lot of two tight end sets. He'll always be on the field, and then having to do some quicker dump off passes, just quicker passes in general, just to try and beat the pass rush. So I like the Waller targets and Slayton receiving yards, but I think one of them may be a good play for a slip.
Yeah, probably one of the two. I mean, at least one of the two. It's weird that Waller's favored under receptions.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted his receptions prop, but I didn't like that he was favored under 4.5.
Yeah, I might actually play his over on his receptions on the book, not necessarily the DFS app. But I'm really shocked that his targets are so low. I just think they have to pass so many times. They don't have like great receivers.
No, I agree. So
yeah, I think it's probably his targets, right? I don't think he's that accurate tonight, and we don't have to worry about that with targets.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, he just has to be in the vicinity. So as long as he's on the sideline close to where Daniel Jones is throwing the ball away, he'll get a little target.
I'm good with that one, absolutely.
That's cool.
How many do we have now? Because I am currently running out of options.
We got Debo, C-Mac, Daniel Jones, and Waller. So that's 4.
And then if we wanted to go to Slayton,
we could throw Slayton in there,
could.
Which is kind of weird correlation for Daniel Jones rush yards and then having 2 receiver props. But it could still happen, definitely.
Yeah, it's just it's not great correlation.
What else do we got for chat? I know somebody was bringing up some Fred Warner, 8 tackles and assists. What's he favored out in the book? He's probably favored over 7.5.
Yeah, that's my guess.
I'm looking it
What
up.
did Cam
He's
says?
8.5 on most books. So
But the problem is, like, with him, wouldn't he get tackles in the running game more frequently than probably than the pass game? Is what my guess is. And
that's true.
obviously, I don't think they're going to run very much.
Yeah, he looks like especially his last 10, he's hit 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 8 exactly.
No, so he's getting
So
right to it. He's hit it. He hit 8 and 11, and 11 is against the Rams.
they pass the ball. I mean,
And
both Pittsburgh and the Rams pass the ball a ton. I think
yeah,
it's a solid prop for push potential. I just don't know. He probably gets 9. I'd lean over. I don't think I want to play it personally, but
yeah, I think if the game will stay close enough for a good portion of time, he's getting it. But the problem is, I don't know if it stays close enough at all. I mean, well, you look at the games last year that he kind of went under that 8 mark, and it's like 38 to 10, 13 to nothing, 33 to 17. It's games of blowout. Like, I think the only games he didn't go over were a blowout outside of one. So I'm pretty sure he covered his line in competitive and close games 90% of the time.
somebody is saying Jason Pinnock over 4.5 tackles and assists. Is that a
I
line
don't know.
on Prize
That's
Because
not on prospects. I looked at it as well,
I was
but I
about to
don't see
say
it.
I went straight to the odds and saw he's minus 157. I was like, yeah, we probably should play that.
But it's not on prospects.
How about
It's
Purdy under passing yards? I kind of like that, honestly. I played under, I think it was 20.5 completions on Tuesday in the taco slip, and it's bumped down to 19.5. But you wouldn't think Purdy will have to pass the ball that much, so
no, I don't think so. I mean, obviously games get weird and things could happen, but it's a properly correlated slip.
got a bunch of tackles and assist props. The thing is, just with the tackles and assist props, is like a lot of it's bumped to like the push line, and I'm not necessarily McKinney, Ezekiel. All right, we get it. We like McKinney's.
Bro, chill.
Let's look it up real quick. McKinney.
Free safety. That man ain't gonna get in on tackles.
He's been getting tackles. Dang, his last 5, 7, 8, 8, 4, and 7. Whew,
My guy's in there. He might be onto something, man.
golly.
Maybe I should have looked at some of Xavier McKinney. I'm talking trash before I even do any research. Ooh, he didn't cover it against Dallas. He had 4 against
Yeah,
Dallas.
because the
And
Giants were on the field the whole time.
yeah, which is shocking that they wouldn't have covered it.
I mean, sorry, Dallas was on the field the whole time because the Giants couldn't hold on to the ball.
Yeah, Xavier McKinney. He's only covered that 1, 2, 3 full times, 3 pushes. Yeah, no, it's all right.
It seems solid for sure. Can we show the odds for Gano kicking points?
No.
Boy, you already know I'm not taking a kicker. I can't ever get it. He's kicking points. He's favored under 5.5, which makes sense. The Giants just might not be able to drive the ball too much and be able to get in field goal range. So he'd have to kick. He'd probably have to kick 2 field goals to get this. So you might as well just take his field goal prop. I guess it don't matter really. It's the same thing.
I mean, it's the same exact
Kicking
thing.
points would actually be better, just in case they somehow score 3 touchdowns, which is probably stretching it for the Giants tonight.
Well, if they score 3 touchdowns, I will certainly be very shocked.
Yeah. But you never know. Slayton over 37.5 or Purdy under pass yards. Which one do I take? I like Slayton's receiving yards tonight. I really don't think you can go wrong either way. Purdy shouldn't have to pass the ball a ton. But it's not like it's the hardest defense in the world to take advantage of either. You know, I'd probably lean Slayton in that just because the Giants will most definitely have to pass the ball a lot. Today is a tough slate. Thoughts on Bosa over 2 tackles and assists? I can get on board with Bosa. He's not on Prizepicks, it looks like.
Yeah, so he's not on prospects.
But I mean, if he's that heavily favored to record a sack, you gotta think he can at least score two or to at least record 2 tackles. Tide said Trevin Diggs tore his ACL. What?
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
That sucks. Oh, somebody said Matt Breida receiving yards.
Is he gonna be the? So I know Saquon. I don't even know if did we mention that earlier. Is he
I don't
gonna
think
be the receiving back? I don't know how much of a receiving guy Breida is.
He's favored pretty heavily under 2.5 receptions. It's like pretty close to even line at 12.5. Like some of the smaller books have him over. But it's just a smaller books. I don't know who the crap the Giants' third string running back is.
So Gary Brightwell, I'm looking at it right now. In week 2, like Breida and Brightwell barely played any snaps. Barkley played 97%, but in week 1, Breida played 23%. Brightwell played 16%. Brightwell got 2 targets. Breida got 1 target. So,
I mean, that's just who the heck knows at that point.
Yeah.
Because week 1 it's hard to replicate how bad week 1 was for the Giants.
BS Betting's asking Purdy or Bosa over sack. I can get on board with Bosa over sacks. I think he records one tonight. I think he lines up on that left side of the offensive line too, which is where they're missing their pieces. So don't quote me on that. I'm not a big defensive guy, but I like my boy Bosa to record a sack tonight. What else? What else are we thinking? We still only have 4.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't have a ton. I'm not sure that I have anything else, to be honest with you.
Do we just run 4? Do we defense 49ers defense fantasy? You just can't pair them against the same team. Like you couldn't play 49ers defense versus the Giants tonight. At least you used to not be able to.
Yeah.
Bosa should line up on Andrew Thomas' side, and he is listed as out. Perfect. I think we lock Bosa in. He's recording a sack. Minus 160. Let me check. Nick Bosa recorded sack minus 165 on 2 different books.
Yeah, let's rock it, baby.
We rocking it. Gotta think this is a game where he pads his stats. Could definitely do that. Breida under 5 rush yards. Oh, under first 5 rush yards. Actually, 16.5, so under 3 yards per attempt. That doesn't sound too bad. How has running backs done against 49ers so far? Let's see.
Oh, Zach, I just sent you a link on your phone, on your text message. Can you post that in the chat? Tell everybody to just... I'll tell everybody the directions in a second.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it 2 different links?
It should be just one. Yeah, I seen that one too, Will. Greenlaw over 7.5 tackles. We kind of looked at that one. To me, it's just all right.
I like my boy Greenlaw.
Yeah, he's an Arkansas guy. Hey, Zach just posted something in chat, a link. It's to Mojo Fantasy. I am partnered with them. I haven't really kind of released any information, but if you could just like use that link to download the app, I'm going to do a giveaway with that. If you'll send me proof of that, just send it to my Twitter or something like that. We'll do a little giveaway for that. So if you could just jump into that, just download the app. You don't even have to create an account or anything. Just download it using my link, and we are good to go.
Brock Purdy touchdowns. I took that last week, man. It cost me. But he is a touchdown beast. But the odds are just kind of mid on it. I think I would lean over for sure. They could easily. Debo could run one in. C-Mac could run one in. Probably does run one in. Elijah Mitchell.
Man, I'm struggling over here, man.
I think we may lock in. You want us to go with these 5? I'm looking at the optimizer right now.
I can't. I am too. I just cannot get on board with throwing anything else in there. I don't think.
Purdy over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, it's 52% on the optimizer. It's not
Straight.
great, but it is probably decent for the slate.
All right, so Waller.
Baby Apex Legends. If you're asking what site I'm on right now, this is the DGF optimizer. That's just like the best value according to the odds for Prizepicks lines. They do Prizepicks, Underdog, Parlayplay. They do a bunch of different sites, but this is for Prizepicks specifically. So there's a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Hodgins over receptions. What's he at?
3.
He's at 3. Yeah, he's at 2.5.
Yeah, exactly. So let's lock in these 5. I'm not messing with anything else.
All right. So where we going? Just a 5-man today?
Yeah, looks like it.
All right, we're going to go Debo, 4.5 receptions, over. C-Mac, over 79.5 rush yards. Daniel Jones, over 37.5 rush yards. Darren Waller, over 6.5 reception targets. And Nick Bosa, over 0.75 sacks.
Lock it in.
We're going to lock it in. Do you like Bosa tackle for loss? I mean,
sack. He's a sack machine. It's coming.
We're gonna go sack over tackles for loss. I mean, he has to get 2 tackles for losses, so that's probably a big push potential. Probably a safe prop for push, but we're going for the sack. We want the over. He's getting a single sack tonight. Give us a parlay play with a discount. There's a discount on parlay play.
I said, man, it looks like you're making slips from a jail cell.
That's got to be you.
No, bro. I'm just, locked in my classroom.
Tyler's in his classroom. He's a PE teacher, man. He ain't got no decorations there.
Bro, I'll get you next week. Next stream I got you. I'm gonna do some adjusting around here.
Man, there's not much to love on the parlay play board either. I'm just looking at the optimizer right now. I know somebody was bringing up Darren Granger. His rush yards are favored 54%. That's a college football prop. Baby Slimes, my guy Rob. Yes, sir. Discount on Purdy yards on Parlay Play, apparently.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. I'll post probably something on Twitter for it. Any of these props, if they're... I think C-Max rush yards is actually higher on Parlay Play, so don't play it over there. But if you can find Daniel Jones rush yards or Darren Waller receiving targets... Or even Debo 4.5 receptions I think it might have been bumped on parlay play. Can I see what the slip looking like real quick? This is the worst slate across the board in a while. I agree. It's just tough when you got a 10 point
Yeah, it's freaking
spread.
It's crazy. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna have to log off real quick.
Yep. So yeah, we're gonna get out of here, guys. We'll be back to talk probably Saturday to talk the Sunday slate. But just real quick, Debo over 4.5 receptions, C-Mac over 79.5 rush yards, Daniel Jones over 37.5 rush yards, Darren Waller over 6.5 receiving targets, and Nick Bosa over 0.75 sacks. That's what we're rolling with tonight. We're just doing the 5-man, going for that 10x. So let's see if we can make something happen tonight on this Thursday night football game. We'll talk to you